Hi, Jeff Flimlin again. Here today with Lisa Scali from Ocean's Balance. We've been talking with Talif Olson about seaweeds, how to set the lines out. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the products that are being taken in from cultured seaweeds. Lisa, thanks for helping us out here. This is great. We're having a wonderful day. Where did the concept of consumption of seaweed kind of get to where we are now? Where's the kind of like the movement, the history of it all?
Seaweed's been eaten for thousands of years in Asia. China, Japan, they've been eating it forever and a day. And it slowly has made its way over to the Western world. Along the coasts of Ireland and England, it grows naturally there, and so people have been eating it there. And as we come over to North America, along the coast of New England and up into Canada, people have been eating seaweed for a long time too.
So it is moving further south, and people are more and more interested in it. At this point in time, which kind of sea green is being the most consumed in our market?
I think when people think of seaweed, they automatically think of nori,
Right.
which is what they have in their sushi. But as people kind of start thinking about different ways to improve their diet, seaweed is making more of an entrance, and people are expanding their knowledge and kind of trying to start trying different seaweeds.
Well, the second one, aside from the nori, is like the seaweed salad you would get at a Japanese restaurant or a sushi bar, something like that.
Right.
So that's kind of like people are, well, this is good. It's crunchy, has a nice texture. We like the vinegar sauce that goes with it. And so that's kind of a foot in the door for not just the nori, but a second set of seaweeds.
It is, that's true, that's true. But that's from Asia, and with all due respect to Asia, I think people are starting to think more about their footprint as they eat. And they're trying to eat as local as possible. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be eating seaweed from New England. It's some of the cleanest, coldest water in the world. And the varieties that grow naturally are absolutely delicious. So
ones that are growing naturally, there's other companies in Maine who have dealt with wild harvest of seaweeds for a long time. It's a traditional fishery. So what are the products now like that Ocean Balance is working with? Where, you know, how is this progressing? What are we doing, and where are we going to go with some of these?
Yeah,
and the forms.
That's right, that's right. So we are moving beyond the nori sheet, and Ocean's Balance is trying to make products that are a little more innovative. So we started with our kelp puree, and this kelp puree is a really unique product. It's a shelf-stable product, and you literally just open the jar and spoon it into whatever it is that you're cooking. It's an ingredient that captures and gives you all of those vitamins and minerals that seaweed is known for, particularly iodine. Iodine is really important for your metabolism, and a lot of us are iodine deficient and we don't even know it. It's an all-natural product, minimally processed. It's been a real hit with consumers.
What would someone use a pureed product in?
Yeah, so it's what wouldn't they use it in really? It goes really well into smoothies, soups, sauces, stews, quiches, casseroles. It even works well in dessert. It has seaweed has a natural glutamates,
Yep.
which enhance the flavor of food, bring out the flavor of food. And when we're talking about savory food, that means you don't need to use as much salt, which is a really nice thing. And in sweet dishes, it really brings out that nice chocolate flavor in your chocolate cake. It's delicious in chocolate cake.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So we're going from hors d'oeuvres all the way to the dessert.
And you can, and I've cooked a whole meal using the puree.
Okay, cool. This type of product.
Okay, so this is more of a value-added product. This is based on the Japanese furikake, and we call it sprinkle because furikake actually means sprinkle over. And this is a combination of seaweed, 2 different kinds of sesame seeds, a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt, and then a flavoring. So this one is shiitake mushroom powder. This one is bonito flake, which is a nice tuna, dried tuna. And then this one is spicy, made with nice cayenne pepper. These are wonderful products to put on top of rice, which is what they're used for traditionally in Japan.
So that would have been their normal use.
Yeah.
Unsprinkled rice. Okay.
That's right. And then now I put it on avocado. It's delicious on avocado. Really nice sprinkled on soups. It's a nice way to add some flavor and again nutrition to whatever you're cooking.
How about these two kind of product forms?
So these are 3 different kinds of seaweeds, all native to New England in 2 different forms. So we have dulse, kombu, and wakame in whole leaf and in flake. Now, the whole leaf, the dulse, you can honestly just eat out of the bag. It's got a nice meaty flavor. It is really delicious, and it's a nice snack.
That's the one they kept saying, we fry it up and it tastes like bacon.
Exactly. It's the bacon of the ocean.
Okay,
You got
good.
it. You got it. But it does, I mean, you can use it to replace, that flavoring when you're starting to make a sauce or a stock.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Kombu is traditionally used in soup, so I use it when I make dashi broth and when I make my own miso soup. It gives a nice flavor to a stock. And wakame is, well, let me go back on this one. You can also wrap things with it, and I like to do that. You wet this, you get it, soft.
Rehydrate it.
Rehydrate, you get it soft, then you can wrap it around fish.
Yep.
And it's amazing how much flavor it imparts. And then wakame is more of like an herb. You can, it's a little softer than the kombu. It's a closer texture to the dulse, but it's got a really nice flavor as well. A little sweeter than this, and it's a nice one to use in sauces. And then the flakes, they're just how you would use herbs when you're cooking. And based on what I just said about how they taste, you would think about using them that way.
So the flavors actually vary.
They do, very much so.
So
They do.
for the consumer, they can say, in the oyster industry, everybody's talking about merwa, right?
They
of
are.
how they taste from one place to the other. So when we talk about seaweeds, these are different, same as one lettuce will vary from another lettuce.
Right.
We have different flavors and we have potentially different uses for them.
That's right. I mean, they look different. If you see them growing in the ocean, each one of them has a different form, different color. This is a red seaweed. These two are called brown seaweeds. When you put them in water, they turn green. So, there's a lot of variety out there growing in the ocean.
How is this kind of burgeoning industry resonating? Because you talked about iodine, you talked about other things. How is this reflected in the health conscious people who are, the foodies?
The foodies. So I think when people think about healthy food, there are two aspects to healthy food. There's good for your body,
Yep.
right? So you're going to get all those nice vitamins and minerals that you need to be healthy. And then good for the planet. And people are becoming more and more aware of the impact that they're having based on the food that they eat. Meat takes a lot of water to grow. A cow takes a lot of water, and they need food. And there's a lot of input in there. If you're eating a lot of soy and vegetables that are grown in the earth, you're using up all that arable land. Again, lots of water, fertilizer. These are all things that aren't so great for the planet. Seaweed doesn't need arable land. Seaweed doesn't need fresh water. Seaweed doesn't need fertilizer. Seaweed doesn't need any more food to grow. It just needs the ocean. And it needs nutrients to grow. Nutrients that it takes out of the ocean. So what it does is it levels out the pH of the ocean.
Yep.
And so in areas where ocean acidification is a problem, and that's just about everywhere,
Right.
seaweed is a really good way
And
to
that's
help
one
temper.
of the big issues in New England is the differences in ocean acidification and how that affects the larval clams and oysters.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that is a very positive point.
Yep.
What do you think the next set of products is going to be? I mean, what we have here basically are a product of itself. It's just it, and then here's something that's mixed together to be used. Where do you see the next step with product forms?
So we definitely want to keep focusing on value-added products. So products that contain the seaweed, and we're looking closely at different kinds of main courses and snack foods where it could be used.
And what's the reception been in the food service industry? I mean, obviously there's some chefs who are starting to use this. There's some cafes that are starting to use this. How are they embracing it? And are they using enough of it so that someone really gets a benefit out of it?
Chefs have really embraced the whole seaweed movement, and you look on any good restaurant these days and you're going to see something, if not many things, that contain seaweed. Seaweed salads for sure, but again, using it to wrap around fish to give flavor, using it as a really decorative topping, but again, imparting all that delicious flavor. So chefs have absolutely embraced it. We're seeing, as we market the products around the country, that a lot of health food stores are absolutely selling them straight, but they're using them in their own prepared foods, and they're quite happy to say that. To say a chicken, vegetable, seaweed soup, that's a really nice thing.
Yeah.
I make kelp-infused roasted tomato soup, and a lot of people are starting to make that too. It's delicious. It's really nice to mix the tomatoes and the kelp together.
Since you started talking about things you like to eat. What is your favorite use of a sea vegetable or sea green?
Should I do it by product? Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite use for a pureed product?
Oh, well, for the puree, I absolutely love it in soups. I think it's absolutely delicious. And I personally love to put it in desserts because people don't expect it.
Right.
And they are pleasantly surprised by how yummy it tastes. So one of my signature products is a fudge that I make with the kelp.
Ooh.
It's so yummy. And
Did you bring any?
we finished it all up. I have to make a new batch, don't I?
Okay. How about the sprinkles?
So the sprinkles have,
sprinkles?
yeah, the sprinkles are there. Sprinkles, definitely on rice. Lots of people just love to give it to their families as a topper on rice. A lot of people are putting it on avocado toast, and I hear a lot of people putting it in soups too. You know, it's however you like to include those kinds of flavors in your food. And again, soups, avocado, rice, perfect.
And the flakes.
The flakes.
It's almost in anything, right?
Yeah, almost in anything. I like to use them in salad dressings,
Oh.
you know, the same way you would use dried herbs in a salad dressing. They're really nice, really, really nice.
And
then
the large pieces,
these guys.
we've talked a little bit
yeah,
about
we
this
have,
so far.
we have.
I think it's a very interesting industry from the production side and now from the value-added side, and I think it has a long way to go.
We hope so.
Thanks for your help today.
My pleasure.
Thanks very much.